Hi, my fellow targeted individuals and patriotic Americans. I'm doing this update status video to tell you some things that's been going on and real talk in general. I hope that you're not bored with me following a script, because I follow this script because it makes things easier for me and it's very easy to remember. I also think it makes me sound kind of professional. But then again, my fellow target individuals, you don't give a fuck if I'm professional. Because a lot of people that sound professional are scumbags that screw people over. Only a mafia boss goes to a barbecue cookout and fancy and regal business suit when there is no reason why a mafia boss in the middle of May or through July would wear a sweaty ass, hot ass, fancy business suit at a barbecue cookout in the middle of that hot sun. That's a man that's looking for trouble right there. He's dressed up like that to get people to do a deal with him. Or he's a professional con man who wants to con somebody. I don't even look that professional, even though I do sound professional when I make these videos. I don't ever get dressed up or anything like that. I just wear clean, casual clothes. And most of you, my fellow target individuals, you're humble people, and we are very poor people. Some of us are. We don't have the money to wear nice clothes. I got some nice clothes. I got some nice clothes that are old, meaning they're from an older era of America. They're like 10 to 30 years old, because I get my clothes from Goodwill and from old-timer stores. They're the kind of stuff that our grandparents would wear. And the reason why I got them so cheap is because where they're so old and that they're out of style, they are sold at 1/4 or 1 out of 100 the price that they used to be when they were in their prime of being trendy. Some people, including my grandparents, think that I have very nice clothes that rich people would wear. But actually, to modern day standards, I would be wearing an old person's clothes. I dress like an old person. You know, I am a very young person. And that's because I like old things. I like all kinds of old things, like fossils and shit, because I have respect for the past. Which is why I have a hint of conservatism, even though I'm a liberal who cares about homosexuals and abortion rights other stuff like that. It's just Asian stuff has a certain feel to it, and I like history. Also, old stuff is just very cheap. I was just looking at my cat that came in here to be fed because I haven't seen this cat all day, where he likes to hide and go in his own little place. I collect things that are old, but fossils, all because they're old doesn't mean they're cheap. Actually, some fossils are very expensive. I find fossils around me because I'm in West Virginia and the state stone is fossil coral, because when West Virginia was underwater billions of years ago, this was a coral reef. These mountains, if these mountains did exist back then, they might have to some extent. It was a coral reef, basically an underwater forest of beautiful corals. I would have made this video earlier, but I had a lot of things to do, and I was trying to detox today. I ate peanut butter chipotle salsa. That's a Mexican recipe, with a bean burrito with guacamole, queso, queso and mushrooms in it. And then I had a little cookie for dessert. I wasn't very hungry today because when my mom and I went shopping yesterday and going to Canal State Forest, I ate a big breakfast from a disgusting place that kind of made me feel disgusting. And it made me feel disgusting because they were serving food that had aborted fetuses and fetal tissue in it. Kraft brand. Because Kraft uses fetal cells in it. And that's cannibalism. And I was getting really disgusted by that shit. I don't want to eat a kid. And that it's just so disgusting. I don't care if fetuses aren't people. It's just as disgusting when you use a fetus for fucking food. And also, they got that stuff without the consent of the mom. And why do companies have to use aborted fetal tissue, cells from aborted fetuses, to make their food more flavorful? That's kind of stupid. Their food is already nice as it is. They don't need to make it too addictive. But then again, they're crony capitalists and they don't have any boundaries or scruples on what they should and should not do to others. My head kind of hurts right now. I don't know why. I need to go and check who that is on the phone. Be right back. I'm back. Oh, the air moved my hair and messed it up. A storm is going to come in. I hope it doesn't make the electricity go off, because that is one hell of a storm out there. That's another reason why I'm not going to make this video long, and why I didn't make this video earlier, because thunderstorms are going to happen this evening. These mind hackers today, when I was detoxing with herbs and stuff, were putting negative thoughts in my head. They didn't like it that I was getting the nanotechnology and nanoparticulates that they're spraying in the atmosphere out of my body. I was pissing and shitting a little bit today after I took what I needed to take, and then I started to urinate even more frequently. And while that was happening, they were putting negative thoughts in my head, telling me that I'm not a person, that I don't have human rights. They're telling me all of this shit with V2K and synthetic telepathy technology. They're telling me, Savannah, you're not human. You don't have boundaries. Those extraterrestrials don't have rights. Human beings are at the center of the universe, and they have the right to murder, enslave, rape, and torture and eat extraterrestrials, even innocent, helpless extraterrestrials that are good people from other planets. They're trying to make me a narcissist like my narcissistic mom. They're trying to make me a chauvinist when that goes against my Aquarian and American views of freedom and equality. They're telling me that I think like a Soviet, that I want to live in a hive mind. Or they want to say you don't like to live in a hive mind. They're trying to make me think that I don't have free will and that I need a collective, a hive to live in, because of how selfless of a person I am and how I care about others. To the point that I respect and care about the extraterrestrials that Penny Bradley talks about, that the secret space program and people like Notwoff did bad things to the good aliens, the good extraterrestrials that were created by the same God, creator, universe that we were created by. They're also telling me that us humans and extraterrestrials, we didn't come from the same God. And they're telling me that's why the extraterrestrials don't have the same rights that we do, because they come from a different God. When actuality, they're partially true, because planets are gods and they come from a different planet. And all planets are divine deities, are all gods. And there's infinite planets in the universe, and the universe is infinitely expanding and making new planets. And moons can also have life on them too. There's infinite moons, and the universe makes infinite moons as well, because it's always good for a planet to have a buddy with it, because planets get bored, and gods get bored, and planets are gods, and that's why planets have solar systems, and they have stars to support them and to support the life on them. But the universe itself is the Alpha, Omega, beginning and end, the most supreme high God. that people call source, and all moons, planets, stars, solar systems, and galaxies come from the universe. Therefore, all is one and one is all. And that means that we humans and even the evil extraterrestrials that like to kill and eat us, and us human beings that are evil scums of the earth, evil terrestrial beings, all were created by the same God, which is this universe, and we all have to obey this universe's laws that Mark Passio calls natural law, or we're going to get it. We're going to get our karma. My mind taggers first want me to not think that karma exists when it does exist. It's not just a belief system. I don't even view it as a fucking belief system because I'm not a religious person. I'm a scientific person. I use science and objective truth, objective fact, to determine what I think and feel is and isn't true about reality. And I know for certain that the universe is the God that I can observe and know about. And they want me to not think about karma, which is the law of cause and effect, the law of causality. One thing happens after another, and the consequences of my actions and everybody else's actions interacting with each other to make a system of chain reactions that infinitely interact with each other, that religious people would call karma, but I call it karma too, but from a scientific perspective. And I have the right to fear my God, which is the universe, and I have the right to fear my actions and inactions, because I have the right to fear the chain reaction cause and effects of them that could cause harm to others and myself, that will result in a myriad of pain, full, and really fucked up circumstances. I also have the right to fear other people's actions that do the same as well, that have the same consequences. And it becomes a cauldron of karma. The universe becomes this interconnected network of input and output and output and input, and vice versa forever. And the more horrible decisions, the more horrible the world's going to become, and it's going to be a fucking messed up, nebulous dystopia, a real life manifested hell that will make the Christian hell look like a cute park for torture. Like a walk in a park kind of pain. But the real life hell is more like, you're more fucked than you think kind of pain. And you're more fucked in the grave kind of game kind of situation. Because Christian Bible is of opinion. It's not a scientific fact. Jesus did not exist. There was not an actual person called Jesus Christ. He's a fictitious character created by the Jesuits, the Society of Jesus, and the Zionist Jews to radicalize and eventually recruit Gentiles to their aid and cause to dominate and conquer the world, that these people were called the Elohim cult, and that there were real life messiahs, some of them even women, but most of them men, that Jesus Christ is an amalgamation of this fictitious character in this fictitious book called the damn Bible, and that these characters were called Crestus, another was called Serapis, and I'm trying to think of the other. Then there's Yeshua and Krishna, and also Jesus Christ was also inspired by a pagan English god who sounds like the word Yahweh, W. I forgot what Charlie Giuliani said that this god's name was, because it was a weird word, a very weird name that I never heard before, and the way it was pronounced and everything was kind of weird. And I didn't know about this god, about this pagan English god, and that I forgot the name of. And I need to do more research about England and their pagan gods, because for the most part, I only know Roman, Greek, Irish, and Norse pagan gods, but I never thought to look up England's pagan gods. And I'm English by descent too. They're putting thoughts in my head right now, but they're mostly putting voices in my head with V2K, and there is a picture, an image in my head of an old man who looks like he's having a Jewish rabbi or pope kind of thing. There's an old man in my head looking down on me, and he's talking, and while he's talking, the V2K is correlating with his mouth moving, that's making it look like he's the one talking to me. They're making it seem like this picture of this man, this old man, is talking to me by putting this image of this old man in my head, at the same time putting a voice of an old man in my head talking down to me. And he is yelling, he's getting mad at me, he's disagreeing with me. I'm getting really sick and tired of it. They're calling me Jude, and I'm not. I hate fucking Jews. How the fuck am I Jewish when I hate Jews? I hate Zionist Jews because I'm a Luciferian pagan who worships Lucifer, Prometheus, Vulcan, Enki as my god, who is also Aquarius, and I was born in February 15th, 1996, under the zodiac sign Aquarius. And I have a rebellious nature to me, just like Aquarius, Prometheus, Lucifer, Vulcan, Enki did. And I hate the same God that he rebelled against, this good Anunnaki Elohim God rebelled against, which was this evil, jealous dictator, Hitler-like figure that the damn Jews, Christians, and Muslims worship, called Allah, Jehovah, Saturn, Enlil, Yada Baoth the Demiurge, or Lotta Baoth, or Ada Baoth the Demiurge. He goes by so many fucking names. And they're telling me I'm a Christo. How the fuck am I a Christo when I'm into Satanism? This is pissing me off. I am not a fucking Christian at all. This is what I believe and know to be true. Trying to open up my iPad. Why ain't my fucking iPad not opening up for me? These people in my head are trying to make me think that I'm something I'm not. I know I'm a Luciferian. I know I am. I know what Luciferianism is, and it isn't Satanism either. Satan and Lucifer are two different beings. Even in the Bible and in the original languages, they mean completely different things. And a Christos group, Christian cannot be a Luciferian. Being honest. This is what I look at. Morgue official. That's an ex-Christian. That man's an ex-Christian. Most Luciferians were Christians before they became Luciferians, by the way. And that's because when we were Christians, we became very suspicious and we wised up to how much of the bullshit our religion is. And we went to the exact opposite or something different like Buddhism. This guy I follow, Goat Scriptures. And this is my God that I don't really worship, but I'm not even going to fucking call him a God. He's a fucking extraterrestrial that visited planet Earth who saved us from the evil extraterrestrials. I don't even want to fucking call this thing a God because he's a fucking Asian alien that visited planet Earth and saved us from his fellow evil extraterrestrials, his people called the Anunnaki. This guy. Enki. This guy right here. He's a god of creation, intelligence, crafts, fertility, semen, magic, and mischief. This right here. This motherfucker, it was an extraterrestrial that saved us from the Anunnaki. And this is his Greek name. His Greek name is Poseidon, Prometheus. And his Egyptian name is Ptah. And his name in the Bible is Lucifer. This is the true good God, if you want to fucking call him that. I don't want to fucking call him a god. He was just an extraterrestrial, for fuck's sakes. Dude from another planet. And he's my teacher. I learned from this guy. I take his example. He's my role model. I want to be just like this person right here. He's my teacher. Yeah. This guy called Enki, the Anunnaki extraterrestrial king from Nibiru, Enki, Ea, Ptah, Poseidon, Prometheus, Lucifer. All his freaking names that he went by. And then here is his evil piece of shit brother, who is the God of the Bible, this fucking evil asshole called Enlil, Jehovah. This is Inky's little brother who was a fucking piece of shit. This guy was a fucking evil asshole. You see, this is an evil extraterrestrial being who killed and ate children, or murdered and ate children for a better word. The Canaanite El, Dagon Baal, Greek Cronus, Babylonian Elil, Marduk, Baal, Cultric roles and evidence, Haran, Kumarabi, Akkadian Elil, and Agaric Yam. You see, Enlil was the god of wind, air, and storms. And I so happens to be storming right now while his name is being uttered. I guess it may be a synchronicity key, like the synchronicity shit that David Wilcock talks about. Or it may be the ontology talking to me that Cliff High talks about, or a little bit of both. And this God is Jehovah, and he's a fucking evil prick. He made the flood happen. Enlil tried to commit genocide on our species with a flood. He's a fucking evil, mass murdering dictator prick. And yet people worship this motherfucker. Worship a fucking mass murdering prick. Dick. This is a fucking evil asshole. Scum not of the earth. And there are people that say Enlil's not Jehovah. Oh, bullshit. Jehovah, God of the Bible, flooded the world just like he did. Now, I'm sick and tired of these people trying to not piss Jews off and say that they're worshiping an evil Elohim prick. An evil Elohim Anunnaki prick. Dickhead. Yeah, I'm trying to find something about this to show you, but it's not showing me it because it's being biased as hell. Cliff High talks about how the Zionist Jews have been pimping up the browsers with their algorithms to be biased towards Judaism and Christianity, and that's sick. My mom and my brother are going to get home here in a few minutes. And I have other things I need to do. I'll make a better video tomorrow. Talk to you later. Take care. And have a good evening, my fellow target individuals and patriotic Americans. And my fellow target individuals, the patriotic Americans who are Christians, Jews, and God forbid Muslims. I don't care if I am offending your religious beliefs, because I have boundaries and I have the right to practice any religion that I want. I have the right to free thought and free speech, and I have the right to practice my own morals and values in my life even if they're diametrically opposed to yours. I will not bend down and bow down to you, nor to your God that you worship, nor to any angel that you worship, nor to Jesus, Muhammad, or whatever bullshit Messiah and prophets. I'm being targeted because I'm a Luciferian pagan, and also because I know about UFOs and extraterrestrials and their interactions with our civilization on planet Earth. I'm not going to compromise my true self for your stupid religious bullshit, for your cognitive dissidence and Stockholm Syndrome towards the evil extraterrestrials you're worshiping. I'm not going to kneel or appease you in your mental delusions / brainwashing. I'm not gonna do that. If you're pissed off about what I'm saying about your God and about how he was an evil extraterrestrial that murdered innocent and helpless human beings, and he ate us humans, he ate us as food because he's a predator and a parasite, and that you have been brainwashed to believe this thing, this evil dude created the universe, and he's the almighty God. Don't watch my YouTube videos. Don't watch them at all. And go and find some other friend on Facebook to watch videos of and talk to. And unfriend me or just block me, I don't care. Block me and unfriend me. Unfollow me. Both on YouTube and Facebook. And that's that. And my friend Tara Potter, I'm sorry if you're listening to this YouTube video or watching it and you're getting offended because you're a Christian. My friends on Facebook, including you, told me I need boundaries, right? Well, I'm going to have boundaries with your religion. I'm a Luciferian, a pagan. You're a Christian. We worship two different gods that are each other's enemies. I'm like a patriotic American who worships George Washington, and you're like a Nazi that worships Adolf Hitler. That not only goes for you, Tara Potter, that also goes for all my Christian target individual friends. Your God of the Bible is no different than Adolf Hitler, and you've been brainwashed to worship an evil extraterrestrial and to believe that he created a damn universe and that you don't have free will and that everything you say and do is because of him. That's not true at all. The things you do is because you were brainwashed by your religion to do. You don't have free will because your religious beliefs took your free will away from you. Your parents and your teachers and your entire village that brainwashed you to worship that evil extraterrestrial and his entire extraterrestrial race called the Anunnaki, Elohim, that's what took your free will away. That's what caused you to go through pain and suffering in your own lives. Not that those extraterrestrials that you worship, the God of the Bible and his angels, are actually the God and the minions that created everything. No, it's because you were brainwashed. and you were manipulated. You were exploited and enslaved as human slaves by a religious, dogmatic brainwashing. Okay? You are slaves, and you can be free if you choose not to practice and believe your religions. But you'll never do that because you're under Stockholm Syndrome and cognitive dissonance. And that's because you're brainwashed and dogmatic thinkers who can't put two and two together in your heads. Extraterrestrials were the gods of the ancient past. Every god was. Not just the God of the Bible. All gods worshipped by humanity and the angels and demons were extraterrestrials. And some of them were human beings with superpowers and advanced technology as well. You're just worshipping other people, regardless if they're a person from another planet that evolved from a different species, or we're just a very powerful human being that had a lot of good stuff or bad stuff that made them very powerful, very juiced up in influence. My mom and my brother are home. I was just saying all that as a disclaimer because I'm sick and tired of my fellow target individuals in the community hating me and me not sticking up for myself because they're Christians, Muslims, and Jews that think that they have the right to demonize and slander and libel Luciferians, pagans, Satanists, atheists, and agnostics who are targeted individuals. Talk to you later. Take care. Have a good night.